the new JBL Sense Pros are probably one of the coolest and most unique earbuds out there. So of course I got a bunch of tips and tricks for you guys, like check this out. Now, straight off the bat, these bad boys aren't like any other regular earbuds. They use JBL's open sound air conducting technology, meaning they don't just go inside your ears, but they sit on top of them, kind of like mini speakers. And these let you hear high quality music without shutting out the world around you. So you can go for a walk in the park, for example, and listen to your favorite playlist while still being aware of your surroundings. And what's nice is they come with these adjustable hooks that you can move depending on your ear. And when you put them on, it's important that you do this little twist gesture, which basically makes sure they've got a nice tight grip on your ear and they're not going to fall off. Then once they're on, to control them, you use touch gestures by tapping on this shiny little part on the earbud. So to control the volume, you use the left bud. A single tap increases the volume and a double tap decreases the volume. Simple. And every time you tap it, it makes this little chime sound. Nice. Then to control your music or videos, you use the right bud. A single tap starts or pauses playing, a double tap skips ahead, and a triple tap skips back. Also, there is a tap and hold gesture, which activates your phone's assistant, whether that's Gemini, Siri, or Bixby. So that's already a bunch of gestures, but you can also customize them. Okay, so to get the most out of the JBL Sense Pros, you gotta get the JBL app from either the Google Play Store or App Store. It's called the JBL Headphones app. You just install it, and once that's all done, you open up the app, click this plus icon, and choose the Sense Pros from the list. And then you're set. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Now, inside the app, you can see the individual battery percentage of each one of the earbuds, including the case, and there's also a whole bunch of other settings in here too that you gotta try, but we'll get to those in a bit. Because first, back to customizing your buds. In the general tab, if you tap on gestures, it opens this section where you can switch between the left or right bud, and if you click this down arrow, you can choose what exactly they control. So if you wanted to, you can set both to none and completely switch gestures off, or you could set up volume control on both earbuds. It's totally up to you. And now that we're done with that, here's a few tricks to make these sound the best they can. Go! Okay, now I was a little skeptical on how these would sound being air conducting headphones, and after using them, I was really impressed with the quality, but let me show you how to make them sound even better. So straight up, the first thing I suggest you do is back inside the JBL Headphones app. Inside this audio tab, turn on high resolution audio. So this feature will take up more battery life, and you will also need to reboot them, but it is totally worth it. These already sound great out the box, but because a lot of streaming apps now have higher quality audio like lossless, when you turn this on, the Sense Pros will then use something called LDAC, and basically you'll get a bump in quality from normal to high res. Yeah. This only works on compatible mid-range and flagship Android phones, and interestingly, iPhones don't actually support LDAC at all. Huh. Okay, then once that's done, you're going to jump into the equalizer, switch that on, and change it to bass. Because trust me guys, this little change will make a big difference, and it makes the sound just so much bassier. You can also play around with the equalizer on your own if you know what you're doing, but the presets are honestly all you need, okay? These also come with adaptive bass boost, which basically changes the bass automatically depending on how high your volume is, which is really nifty. Then another thing to try is turn on spatial sound and set this to music. This will make it sound like music is coming from all directions around you, which is quite an immersive experience. And what's really cool is you can change this depending on what you're listening to. And before we move on, make sure that under the General tab, Smart Audio and Video is also turned on, because this will actually speed up the Bluetooth connection so that if you're watching a movie or playing a game, there is zero delay. I mean, who doesn't want that? And now, if you combine all that with the air-conducting open sound tech, these bad boys should sound nice. But we're just getting started. So, one of the best things about these earbuds is that you can connect them to pretty much anything. Whether that's a TV, a laptop, tablet, computer, smartphone, you name it, they'll work, no problemo. To connect them, it's super easy. You just do a tap, then a tap and hold. They'll then say,
pairing.
And once you hear that, or you see this blinking blue light, you can open up the Bluetooth settings on any device you want to connect to them. Like on my laptop, for example, I just selected the JBL Sense Pros. And bam, they are all connected, nice and easy. But here's one of my favorite tricks. You can actually connect them to 2 devices at the same time. So let's say you've got them connected to your phone. Well, at the same time, you can have them connected to your laptop. So this way, you can quickly jump from listening to music on your phone to watching a video on your laptop. And like without any delay, the JBLs just instantly switch between the 2 because nobody likes lag. What I also really like is this works when you get a phone call. So if you're busy on your laptop, the JBLs will automatically switch over to your phone on their own.
Whoa, slow down.
Then as for the battery, here's a few tips you gotta know. Okay, now these JBL Sense Pro come with great battery life. All in all, you get around 38 hours with the case included. And that is nuts because Samsung Buds and AirPods don't even come close to that. But you can get even slightly better battery by turning on LE audio. This is called Bluetooth Low Energy Audio. And basically how it works is most newer phones and laptops have a type of Bluetooth that use less power while sounding better. So if you see that setting, just make sure it's turned on if you want better battery life. Now, as for checking how much battery life you've got, obviously you can see that here in the app, but you can also see it on the case itself. There's this kind of little hidden LED over here, and when you put the Sense Pros back in the case and close it, the light will tell you how much battery it's got. So this means they're basically fully charged. Nice. This means they're somewhere between 50 and 75%, and this means they have less than 30% battery. And if the light is blinking, they definitely need to be charged because they're probably about to die. Speaking of charging, you obviously have the standard way by using USB-C, but did you know that you can also wirelessly charge these? Either by using a wireless charging pad for like a phone, or even the back of a phone that has wireless power share. But with USB-C, if you're going to use that, it'll take around 2 hours to fully charge the case from 0 to 100%. But here's a nifty tip. If you're in a hurry, 10 minutes of charging will give you 4 hours of playback time. And if they just stay in their case for 30 minutes, you'll pretty much get a full day of listening. Wow. Oh, and these aren't meant for just music and videos.
Well, hello.
What about phone calls? Okay, so while you're wearing the Sense Pros, if you ever get a call, you can actually answer it just by tapping on them twice. You can then, of course, talk to whoever phoned you.
Hello, do you happen to have toaster insurance?
And to hang up, you just tap and hold. Pretty easy. Or if you don't want to talk to anyone at all, you can do the same tap and hold gesture to reject the call. And what I love is these gestures work on both the left and the right bud. And other than convenience, another reason you'd want to use these for calls is their microphones. They have 4 microphones with background noise cancellation. Plus, you can also change the sound quality of the other person talking by using these sound settings. So personally, I like natural the most, but increased bass is also a pretty good option. But now for some quick tips that make these even better. Now, if you like to fall asleep with your earbuds in or just like to zen out, then this one's for you. Inside the JBL app, under the Other tab, you'll notice this little feature here called Relax Mode. With these 5 icons, and these are actually sounds. So the first one is crashing waves. The second is nighttime chirping. The third is crackling fire. The fourth is forest winds. And the fifth is called water. You can listen to just one or toggle a few of them on, set a timer for how long you'd like to listen to, then press play and bam, you've got the perfect sound to fall asleep or just focus with. Okay, but if you scroll down past relax mode, you'll also find auto power off. Turn this on and set it to 30 minutes. Because now, instead of putting the Sense Pros back in their case to turn them off, if you keep them out the case after 30 minutes of no use, they'll automatically turn themselves off to save battery.
Power off.
Pretty neat. And if you ever lose these, don't panic. You just open up the Find My Buds section, and in here you see these two massive buttons. Just tap the left or right depending on which bud is missing, and it'll start ringing extremely loud. Like, no joke, these are probably the loudest I have ever heard any buds get. But at least it makes them easy to find, you know? Now for my top quick tip, make sure you subscribe so you never miss a video like this, and I'll see you in the next one. Toodles!